And I would like to welcome Unity Kitchener's spiritual leader, Cheryl Rodgers. Cheryl grew up in South Africa. She and her husband, Kevin, came off to Canada to start a new world together in their earlier life. I know that Cheryl's often mentioned that she grew up in a very open-minded household, talked about lots of things, had discussions about lots of things, and
does it sometimes feel like it skipped the memo? I mean, have you ever had one of those days where you stub your toe, spill coffee on your t-shirt, and then drop your phone, all before 8 o'clock in the morning? And in those moments, don't you just want to look up at the sky and say, really? This is what you have for me today? This is the best you've got? But here's the thing. What if the universe isn't out to get us? What if those moments are just little nudges reminding us to pause, to breathe, maybe even to buy a new phone case? Seriously though, today we're taking a look at a question that has puzzled and challenged spiritual seekers and skeptics alike for hundreds of years. If the universe is fundamentally good, why do bad things happen? This question isn't just a philosophical one. It's sometimes deeply personal. We've all experienced pain and loss. And when we look at the state of the world, wars, starvation, and suffering on a massive scale, it's natural to question how all of this fits into the idea of a good universe. I'm going to approach this question from a vibrational perspective, bridging science and unity teachings. We'll take a look at the nature of energy, frequency, and vibration, which both quantum physics and spiritual traditions tell us form the basis of all reality. By the end, I hope you will walk away with a broader understanding and a deeper compassion, not just for the world, but for yourself too. Unity teaches us that God is not a distant being judging and intervening in the world, but an omnipresent power, a creative force of love that permeates everything. Permeates everything. Charles Fillmore wrote, God is the everywhere present spirit of absolute good. This means that at the core of existence, there is goodness, harmony, and abundance. Science also supports this idea of an interconnected, harmonious universe. At the quantum level, everything we perceive as solid is actually vibrating energy, constantly in motion, constantly interacting. Dr. Brian Greene, a leading theoretical physicist, tells us that everything we know about the universe is ultimately a manifestation of energy. So if that's true, why do we see so much suffering? If the essence of life is good, why do wars rage and why do so many live in poverty, unable to meet their most basic needs? This is where things get just a little complicated. The universe may be good at its core, And we must remember that it also honors the gift of free will. Our individual and collective thoughts, beliefs, and actions contribute to the vibrational field around us. When humanity collectively operates from fear, from greed and separation, those energies manifest in large-scale experiences like war, oppression, and systemic inequality. Wars and suffering on a global scale reflect collective vibrations that have fallen into disharmony. These experiences are not punishments from a higher power, but manifestations of lower frequency energies, such as fear, hatred, and greed. While this may sound harsh, it's not about blaming individuals for these tragedies. Instead, it's about recognizing our collective consciousness plays a role in how the world is shaped and the world we live in. Think of the global vibration as a symphony. When fear, competition, and a belief in scarcity dominate the music, we hear chaotic, discordant melodies, if you can call it a melody, expressed as conflict and suffering. In unity, we understand that our work is to raise our consciousness, not just for ourselves, but for our collective good. This doesn't mean we can wave a magic wand and make everything perfect. It means we are called to become conscious participants in healing the world. We can look to the work of people like Dr. David Hawkins, who measured the vibrational frequencies of human emotions. He found that emotions such as shame, guilt, and fear vibrate at very low frequencies, while love, peace, and joy vibrate at much higher ones. The collective vibration of the world shifts as more individuals begin to operate from higher frequencies. Before we move on, though, it's important to acknowledge something that can sometimes happen in spiritual communities, something we call spiritual bypass. Spiritual bypass is when we use a spiritual principle to avoid dealing with life's hard truths and our own pain. It's the tendency to dismiss suffering by saying things like, everything happens for a reason, or it's all just an illusion. While these statements may hold some truth, they can also prevent us from facing the reality of human experience. We are here to fully engage with life, not to escape from it. Pain and grief are part of the human experience, and denying them doesn't raise our vibration. It only buries them deeper. Unity reminds us that healing begins with truth. We can only raise our consciousness when we acknowledge where we truly are. So when we encounter war, poverty, or injustice, our response shouldn't be to bypass it with a smile and a positive affirmation. Our response is to show up, to meet these expectations with love and compassion, and to ask, what is mine to do? Sometimes that looks like personal healing, raising your own vibration by releasing fear and cultivating forgiveness. Other times, it's about taking inspired action in the world, being an advocate for peace, fairness, and love in tangible ways. As the Dalai Lama said, it's not enough to pray for peace. We must act on behalf of it. Now that we've looked at suffering from both a personal and collective perspective, let's return back to our core question. Why do bad things happen in a good universe? What if we could see bad things, not as obstacles, but as invitations, challenges meant to help us evolve and raise our consciousness? It's often through our hardest moments that we grow the most. While I would never wish suffering on anyone, I have witnessed and experienced again and again how pain can be a powerful teacher. There have been many times in my life when I truly believed I couldn't handle the pain I was feeling or the circumstance I was in. I thought it was the end of my world. I couldn't see a way through the darkness, and it felt so heavy and overwhelming. And yes, it often was the end of my world as I knew it. And yet here I am. Somehow I survived. It wasn't quick or easy. In some cases, it took years. And now in hindsight, I can look back and recognize that those experiences, far from destroying me, have actually shaped me, have shaped who I am today. They gave me strength I never knew I had, compassion I didn't know I could feel, and a depth of understanding that wouldn't have been possible without the struggle. I'm sure many of you can relate. You've probably had moments in your life when everything seemed to fall apart, yet somehow you made it through. And when you look back, you might even see the growth that came from those painful times. Unity teachings remind us that every experience is a part of our soul's journey. Even the most painful experiences contain within them the seed of transformation. Eric Butterworth, a longtime Unity minister and author who has since passed, he wrote, "The only way to rise above is to go through." The only way to rise above is to go through. In science, we see a similar idea. Systems in nature often go through periods of chaos before reaching a higher level of order. A star, for instance, must collapse before it can become a supernova, birthing new worlds in the process. In the same way, our personal and collective struggles are part of a greater unfolding. So what can we do? How do we live in a high vibrational state while also staying engaged with the world's suffering? First, we must cultivate awareness. Pay attention to our own vibration. When we notice ourselves slipping into fear or judgment, pause, realign. Unity teaches us that affirmative prayer, meditation, and gratitude are powerful tools for raising our vibration. Secondly, don't bypass the pain, yours or the world's. Meet it with love, but also with action. Remember, you're not powerless. Every thought, every act of kindness, every time you choose love over fear, you contribute to the collective vibration. And thirdly, trust the process. The universe is inherently good, even when it doesn't seem that way. The challenges we face individually and collectively are not signs that something has gone wrong. They are part of our evolution. Now, as we wrap this up, I hope you're leaving with a fresh perspective on why bad things happen in a good universe. And if not, I'll just leave you with this. The next time life throws you a curveball, just remember it's not personal, it's vibrational. And if all else fails, there's always chocolate, naps, and cat videos. Don't you just love them? Let us close with this quote from Ernest Holmes. No matter what the circumstance, life is for us, not against us. It is forever inviting us to grow, to love, and to become more than that we were before. So I want to thank you for being here today and for sharing your good vibes with me. You truly are part of this beautiful, sometimes messy, but always amazing universe. May you continue to raise your vibration and be a light in the world. So let us now just take a moment and move into our meditation. Make yourself comfortable wherever you are seated or lying down. Let your spine be tall but not rigid. And just relax into your body. Take in a deep breath. Feel those shoulders just fall down into a relaxed pose. Put your hands on your laps or your thighs and close your eyes if you're comfortable, or lower your gaze if that feels better to you. Notice your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose, feeling your abdomen expand. And exhale fully through your mouth. With each breath, allow your body to relax a little more. If any tension remains in your shoulders or jaw, visualize the exhale gently carrying it away. Continue breathing this way at a calm and steady pace. Picture yourself standing in a soft, radiant glow, a warm light that gently pulses with love, wisdom, and compassion. This light represents the ever-present good that lives in and all around you. Notice how it expands outwards, touching everything in your awareness. Visualize yourself pausing, taking a breath, and remembering this light in moments of difficulty. This light naturally shifts your vibration to a place of great calm and kindness. Each time you exhale, imagine the light radiating further and further out, blessing your surroundings with the energy of wholeness. If any challenges or worries surface, gently place them in the warmth of this healing light. Envision them softening and transforming under the power of absolute good. And let us bask in the warmth and in the silence for a few minutes. your awareness back to your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes or lift your gaze. Carry the sense of calm, trust, and connection within you into whatever comes next. Remembering always that you can return to the healing light whenever you need to realign with the good that is ever present within you and around you. Thank you.